Welcome back to crochet class. Today we're going to be putting our mushroom together. Let's go. Now today your best friend is going to be the tapestry needle. You want a tapestry needle. It can have a pretty blunt end. This isn't very sharp. It's got a nice big eye that we can stick our yarn through. The first thing that we need to do is we need to decorate our mushroom. Now this one, you can put them wherever you want. If you want to make a pattern, if you want to do it more random, that's up to you. But we're just going to sew it on by using our tapestry needle. Take one of the ends and then we're going to just come back up. So we're just going to go all the way around so that we are tacking down our circles. And then I think I'm going to switch to this yarn for this last bit because we want both of these inside of the hat anyway. If your yarn, see this is getting a little fuzzy and hard to stick through the needle. It's good to have a good sharp pair of embroidery scissors on hand so that you can just snip it off and start over. Okay, now that I have both ends of my yarn inside and I've tacked it down all the way around the circle, since this circle is still open, I can just tie it off inside and even snip it a bit so it doesn't get in the way. And then we're going to continue doing that until we feel like we have enough dots. You can just scatter about groups of 3 in sort of irregular triangles. We want the triangles to be irregular because we want that organic look, but odd numbers also make things look a little more natural. If you have a tail that's a little too short for what you want it to do, sometimes I just stick my needle in where I want it to go and then I thread it, so that way I don't have to have enough length to get up and over into my needle. As this is a one-way ticket. One-way ticket to the inside of the hat. So if you want to add more dots, you can fill up the top of the mushroom even more. I think that I am happy with this, so I'm going to move on. So now we have our cardboard, we have our stuffed stem, we have our hat. We are going to fill this with stuffing, but as mentioned before, it can get a little messy. So I like to start off for something like this that's like a lid. We'll start off without stuffing it and then we'll stuff it later. I'm going to take my red yarn. I'm just going to work it through, and I'm trying to pick out just this closest loop of the white, and I'm just going to sew them together around. So this can go through both because it's red, so it'll blend in. Work our way around. Okay. Now before we get too far, we want to make sure we stick our cardboard in. And we can start stuffing this. Nom nom nom. Thank you. Oh, I couldn't possibly. Okay. I think that's about good. Get in there. And then we shall continue sewing this up. Okay, now we are back to the beginning, and I'm going to move my needle up into the red because I'm working with red thread, and that way anything that I do will get kind of lost. Stuffing is kind of being a bit rude, but that's okay. Now, oh no. I am trying to fasten it off without really being able to access the back and tie it off hidden back there. I just kind of looped it around one of the stitches here. I'll do it again here. I'm going to pull it through further away and loop it around. To kind of fasten it off. And now we want to hide the remainder of this yarn, so I'm going to push it all the way through to the other side, pull it out. Now I'm going to squeeze this down and snip the yarn. Make sure that you don't hit any of the work that you've done. And now when I let go, that bit is hiding inside, in amongst all the stuffing, and our mushroom is formed. So we have a very cute mushroom here, and it stands and it balances, and it's wonderful. You did a great job. And now we can go on and add a little more decoration. So I'm going to grab my white yarn, and we are going to begin not on this bottom layer where it forms the shape of it, because we don't really want to add anything to here because that might affect how well this can balance. So I am finding the first stitch of that second row of back loop only. So the back loop only, see how these are like normal single crochets, like a bump, bump, bump. But if you look at our back loop only, it leaves these bars. And these are the front loops that were left behind. So I am going into the front loop right here, and I'm just going to pull my yarn through. Then you can hold this tight. I'm going to do a chain stitch. So for the chain stitch, all we do is we wrap the yarn around, and then we pull it through. You wrap the yarn around, pull it through. It's like a slip stitch, but without slipping into anything. So we don't need to do that many of these. I think I did too many. So we're doing 3 chain stitches. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to slip stitch next door. So pull the yarn through, pull it through the hoop, through the hook, loop, that was the word, pull it through the loop, and we're doing the same thing again, chain 3, and then slip stitch into the next door stitch. We're doing this until we are all out of these front loops. There are some front loops up here, we'll get to them later, but for now, just do the 3 chain stitch and slip stitch until you're out of front bars. All of these chains that we made, you can kind of get in the way, so I usually end up holding this sideways as I am working. 3, and sometimes you have to like squeeze it a bit to be able to get your hook underneath the loop, because it is now stuffed. Okay, now what we can do is I left this tail here. Could even take my long tail and go visit my short tail, plunging it in there, and just giving it a quick little knot. Okay. I still have plenty of tail here, so I'm gonna stab my mushroom, stab it up, and pull it tight, squish the work a little bit, and snip it so that it's hidden inside the body of my mushroom. I'm gonna just stick my hook through and grab this little short tail and pull that inside as well. No, don't fight me, little guy. Haha, gotcha. All right. Now, if you want to, you can be done at this point. But for extra credit, we're gonna do one more new stitch. So we still have these front loops that are right here. So I'm going to take my white yarn again and my hook and pull my yarn through. Now I want to do 3 chains, 3, and then I'm going to do a double crochet in this next loop here. Yarn over, so it looks like we have two on the hook, and then if you want to, you can treat this like a front loop and go under it as well, and that'll tack it into place. But I'm going to move it off to the side and we will deal with it when we get back around. I'm going to go under the front loop, yarn over, and pull it through, and yarn over one more time. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 yarns here on top of our hook. I am going to take my hook and bring it through the first and the second, yarn over one more time, and then bring it through both of these. So we're back to one loop on the hook. And that is our double crochet. We're just going to do that again. So we're going to yarn over, put it under that front loop, yarn over, pull it through, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to take this and pull it through these 2. So you can always twist so you can hold this better and fit through the gap better. Okay, so we're down to 2 on the hook, yarn over, and pull it through both of these 2. There you go. And we're going to keep doing that all the way around. Okay, we are back at our beginning. And so we can slip stitch into this first one here. Pull it through. This is the complete mushroom. If you wanted, you could add like little ladybugs or little butterflies, or make a bunch of these in maybe different colors. Or you could just have a cute little mushroom in your home. Congratulations on your finished mushroom. It's so cute and I'm so proud of you. You worked very hard, and I hope that you are just started on a beautiful journey and that you have lots of fun crochet projects ahead of you in your future. As a reminder, the Yule Nature Pack is available in my Etsy store. Check the description for the link. It's a great time to pick a next project that really speaks to you. Thank you so much for joining me. Next week, we'll be doing some extra credit. We're going to be covering some skills for the rest of the patterns in the Yule Pack that weren't used in the mushroom, color changing, and normally we're stitching in the spiral. We're going to learn how to keep it round as we go out. So see you next time. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. And if there's enough questions to do a Q&A video, then I will do one last crochet class video for this pack as a Q&A video. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.